Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me and my very special guests. They are one of the entertainment industry's most beloved power couples. You know them from co-starring in such Broadway musicals as Saturday Night Fever, Legally Blonde, and Pretty Woman. And this coming Sunday night, October 4th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they kick off their new concert with Seth Rudetsky as part of the Seth Concert Series, which is sponsored by BroadwayWorld and StreamYard. Please say hello to my dear friends, Orfeh and Andy Karl.
Hey.
What's happening,
What's happening?
I love it. Lots of energy for 12 noon, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
I just woke up, but it's all good.
That's not true.
It's true.
That's
No, my dogs
we were
wake
up
me
at
up.
the crack of dawn.
And
The dogs are.
I cook them meals pretty much almost every other day. Like I have to cook them meals. So
I
that's
love
my
this.
thing. I'm a servant to my dog.
Every other day.
How many kids do you have? How many are there?
A few.
Wait a minute. What is a few? Are there more than a
few?
Few.
It was more than one, less than 10.
I love that. Well, listen, first of all, how are you two?
I know that's the open-ended question. That's like everybody gets on Zoom. Like, how are you? Streaming through Zoom.
As good as can be expected.
We're still getting up and exercising in the morning, cooking the dogs meals, and maintaining a certain amount of sanity. But the great thing is we have things like our concert to look forward to on Sunday, and it's getting me all jazzed. I'm actually bringing the guitar out, so. I'm getting some calluses. That's pretty much it. We keep busy like writing and trying to be creative.
Oh, wait, grab that.
Oh,
grab that.
Hold on. You're going to promote?
I am going to promote. Why not?
Well done.
We optioned this book.
Well, we're going to talk about this. Listen, I was obsessed with that book before
Do you
I
know
heard.
This book?
Oh, I love this book.
How dare you not tell me?
Oh, yeah. Well, let's get into this right now. It's called The Dancer. Talk about who wrote it.
Eric Burnett, dear friend of all of ours, I believe.
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, when I was sitting in my dressing room at Pretty Woman, someone gave me this book and said, read this book. And 10 pages in, I was like, oh, I'm going to option this book. I didn't know what I was talking about, but I've heard it done. So I was like, I'm optioning this book. So, life got in the way for a while. And now that we're in the middle of this, I revisited the concept, and Eric was kind enough to allow us to option this book. And that was the easy part. And that's all I will say. So now all I have to do is sell it to a major studio and get everyone involved and make a series out of it.
Yeah.
Well, see, I love this. You're producers now. I'm fascinated about how you're moving your careers along. Like I said, I fell in love with this book a year and a half ago.
It's fantastic, isn't it? I'm not imagining how
it's
brilliant it is.
Very juicy. Yeah. It's very filled with characters and like you said, the first 10 pages you're in.
Like you're hooked.
But it's got some great like reveals, but really juicy characters. You can see it on screen. So I think that was, Orfeh is very quick on that stuff. And she just did it. She just called Eric and got it done. I was like, oh, I guess. Okay. Yeah. We're going to be producers now.
Everyone has plenty of time on their hands
exactly.
to take my call.
I think at this point, it's like, your mind has to be open to that kind of stuff. And luckily, like Orfeh is just brilliant and fast, and she reads really fast. It took me a couple days to get through this one.
Call me Evelyn Wood. I do read very, very
it's very juicy. It's also like complicated. I won't give away the story. I want people to read. But
it's an incredible mystery with a homicide and everything else. So everybody watching around the world, go to Amazon or go somewhere and find this novel, this mystery, The Dancer. It's really fabulous.
Burnett. Yes.
Well, I wanted to congratulate the two of you on that. When I heard that from Deadline, first of all, I was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with that book. I'm like, boy, they have really great taste.
You didn't text me right away and tell me. I just was like, because that's great to know that every single person who's reached out to me that has read the book is like, oh my God, of course it needs to be on screen. Of course it's the best. So,
Yeah, one of the great things about it is like this is wonderful, like backdrop of New York City. Yeah. It made me so nostalgic to read it because, we've just sort of like been inside, but you're like, it's, certain parts of it from certain different eras in New York City, and you're really getting all that stuff. And I miss New York. My God.
Yeah, I was going to say to the two of you, it's such a weird time period because it's been 6 months since the New York theater shut down. I used to give a daily number, but I was like 6 months is over a half a year. I mean, isn't it overwhelming where doesn't it sometimes it feel like last week for you and then sometimes it feels like a year? I mean, it's every day is a new something, right?
I think that's actually exactly how it feels. Our last live concert, since we're, promoting Sunday's concert, our last live concert was in February. And February feels like it was literally 10 minutes ago, but it feels like a different lifetime. Like that concert, that whole series of concerts that we did finishing up in New York at Feinstein's literally feels like in an alternate universe last night. And we're still kind of like shaking it off from, the haze of having done a concert till 2 a.m., and yet it feels like some other lifetime. So it's very strange because you think February is just a minute ago, literally. So it's very strange.
You know what it reminds me of? Groundhog Day. Yeah.
That fabulous musical. Yeah, I was going to say, you
did this to us.
I know. Welcome to how it feels doing that show.
But at least you have a perception of like, oh my God, life now feels like what I did 8 shows a week in Groundhog Day.
Yeah. I think, and that's to that point. It's like Phil Connors eventually saw that maybe I should just start learning as much as I can and getting to know, details I've never known before about things and see what happens because we've got all this time on our hands. He had all this time on his hands, and I think that's what we're all doing. So, it's like I'm just following the teachings of Phil Connors and Groundhog Day.
How are you staying in shape and vocally staying in shape during this?
Yeah, I haven't sang in a while.
We'll see. We'll get back to you about that question after Sunday, because use it or lose it. It's a very much one of those things. Vocal prowess is about how much you keep it in shape, and unfortunately, we haven't had to sing as much. And the heavy lifting we usually do. Let's just say there's a lot of neighbors that are not too pleased because we're constantly with the all that stuff. So, but the actual act of singing hasn't been occurring for, as normally and as copiously as it generally would. So it's definitely something that we've had to keep warm. And singing around the house is ridiculous, but you do it.
I think it'll also be interesting. Like it's different to sing into a microphone on Zoom than it is for a live audience house. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe it'll be easier. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll
get back to you on that.
I'm probably going to be barefoot and, I don't know, wearing shorts or something. So that'll be a new performance outfit for me.
Well, let's talk about where in your house have you set up your new stage area to do this? Everyone's becoming not just a performer. It's like you're a lighting designer now. You're a stage manager. I mean, where are you doing it? Where are you going to do it from Sunday?
Kind of where we are right now for you. Maybe a little more zhuzhed up. Maybe a couple more than just a black T-shirt on. Maybe there may be some outfit changes. Maybe.
I don't have any clothes.
We don't have any clothes. We have T-shirts. So there may be an array of, funky T-shirts going on.
Because everybody thought when people went somewhere, they're like, oh, this is only going to be like a month. So I'll take a few shirts, some leggings, 2 pairs of pants or whatever. And they're like 6 months later, we do wash every day.
Every day. Thank God for the laundry. Yeah. It's been, I don't find it freeing. I find it actually very oppressive. So it's like, oh, look, I'm wearing these leggings again. And look at my jeans, my same jeans. So
girlfriend's got a lot of pair of jeans.
I do have a lot of jeans, but they all are one pair. Like it's the same pair. I just have 17 of them.
Well, at least you have 17 as opposed to 2.
I'm exaggerating. It's not more like 5.
It also feels weird to dress up in your living room.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We're going to parade around. Oh, look at my T-shirt, Andy.
I just now remember it's like the first month or something of all this. I would go outside our apartment in New York, and you would see all the people that used to go to work and they would dress up. They looked awful. I was like, people were walking around like, God, put some makeup on or something. You guys look terrible. It's like, do I look like that?
Yes.
We all look terrible. This is, I mean, but we're also relaxed and chill and whatever.
No, I know. No, I got a lot of flack. I would get a lot of flack. I remember, I won't mention her name. Like, I can't believe you're wearing false eyelashes in the middle of. I'm like, well, I'm on camera. I'm doing 20 cameos, 3 Zooms, interview with Laurie Stokes on, TV. I'm not gonna look like, a haggard hoe. So, like, what do you think? And what, do I not have time to put on my makeup that I know very well how to do, since I've had to do it for 20 years myself? What, do you want me to look like crap so you can feel better about yourself? Put on some freaking lashes.
Very passionate about it.
I can't believe you're getting flack for being
Good.
visible and making it fun for other people to be like, ooh, look, she looks cute. What?
I'm glad you're doing that. I tell everybody.
What do you want me to show up on news and look like they'll be worried about me? It takes 5 minutes to do this. 5.
I love that you're doing that. I tell everybody. I've been speaking to all these people. They're like, I'm so glad you asked me to do this. I could put some lipstick on. I could, do my hair a little bit. I could put lashes on. Good for you. You go for it.
All
right. So let's talk about Sunday. I mean, it's Sunday night, first October 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll be live. Then there's a rebroadcast on Monday, October 5th at 3 p.m. doing your virtual concert with Seth. Now, Seth can just throw stuff in there. So, I mean, is this
prepared.
Well, okay.
I'm not prepared.
We are prepared.
Seth is very fast. He's very fun. That's one of my favorite things about him. And he's hilarious, and I'm sure he'll keep us on our toes, keeping it very entertaining. So I'm just, preparing as much as I can and trying to get my dog to stay quiet.
Oh, listen, they're like, they're on camera,
Oh, no, absolutely. They are silent unless we're doing something that's hilarious. It never, ever, ever, ever fails. You could set a timer to it,
Yeah,
you could bet on it.
They might join us for the concert. You never know.
You should. I mean, we've had people all around the world doing this. They're like, oh, my cat's here, or my dog's here, or my child's here, it's my audience.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, have you talked to Seth about certain numbers you're going to do? Have you had like StreamYard or Zoom rehearsals yet? Like, what's happening?
That's tomorrow.
So we don't know what we're doing.
But I mean,
it'll be fun.
I know what a scoundrel he is. I know what kind of shenanigans he's going to
make you riff.
So I'm prepared.
Then he's going to break it down. He's going to break down your riffs.
But there are, look, this is not particularly Legally Bound's template. It's more, there are some things from Legally Bound which you can download right now and
living room bound is what it's going to be.
Living room bound. But there's going to be stuff that possibly we've done in our shows, stuff that Seth is going to throw at us and pray we know the lyrics to, and if not, we'll just kind of hum through them. Stuff like that. I'm sure he'll.
Yeah, he was asking what did you sing in high school? What was your audition song? What was? I was like, I did Judd Fry in Oklahoma. Okay, let's get prepared for that one. That'll be interesting.
Because that's a big song, Andy. That's a big one.
That's Lonely Room. So it's so obscure, but it really well written for its time.
We may resurrect the Vulcan mind trick. That's something people have been emailing me about a lot. So I told Seth, I said, we may have to resurrect the Vulcan mind trick.
What's the Vulcan mind trick? I don't even know. Do I know the Vulcan mind trick?
Of course you know. It's one of Seth's most popular obsessed videos of his entire series. That's
the Vulcan.
Yeah. That's
that one. Yes.
That
okay.
one. So he'll just throw a bunch of songs at me and make me figure out where I would point if my voice was not working that evening, with how that all happened.
What I love about these is there's a positive, a big positive to all of this, because when you do concerts, let's say Feinstein's 54 Below, some people can fly in from your fans from London or whatever else. Everybody can tune into this on Sunday night or the rebroadcast on Monday. It's got to be so great for you too, realizing that so many more people can watch you during this
Yes,
concert.
I wanted you to make sure I want to make sure you told everybody that, because I've gotten a lot of messages about how they're like, oh God, I'm in London, I'm in France, I'm here. I want them to know that for them, that's what the re-airing the next day is for specifically. So I don't want anyone to think they're going to miss out if they can't watch Eastern time at 8 p.m. on Sunday. There is a specific broadcast for all the overseas fans whom we love and adore, and you know, we wouldn't want them to miss it at all. So I'm glad you brought that up more than once. Please
I'll bring it up again. No, but
again.
this is what's great about this series is people who can tune in on Sunday night to watch you live. It's great. Then Monday they can watch you but they can even watch you Sunday night. It's so easy to get tickets to this concert.
Yeah.
Tickets are available at Broadway World Events or at Seth Concerts, or just type in Orfeh and Andy Karl concert. It just comes up on the internet. It's so easy to buy a ticket. The tickets are only $25 to see these two.
If you and so many, and thank you to everyone who asks us for cameos. We have a joint cameo, and it's literally not at all as inexpensive as this. So if you want to see us together for 90 minutes as opposed to like the 3 to 4 minutes you get on Cameo, this is how to do it. You'll be sick of it by the 90 minutes. You'll be like, that's enough. I would have just been fine with the 3.5 minutes.
No, everybody, you know, it's funny. I've been watching all of these Seth concerts, and everyone's like, oh my God, they're so great. And then when they end, I mean, most people buy a ticket to watch it again the next day.
Really? Oh, that's good. Maybe
come into the living room.
Don't suck.
Oh, I can't guarantee that.
Okay, well,
but
try not to.
You two have never done that. I mean, so this is actually your first concert. Like, this is the first time you're like doing this since February, right?
I mean, we've done certain numbers for other things, one or two numbers tops. We've certainly done a couple of a lot of charity stuff. We did a couple of numbers for Stars in the House very early on for BroadwayWorld, for, you know, television, all sorts of things. But this is the first full-length concert we've done during this entire time that other people were actually watching.
Yeah, I mean, I've been writing music and stuff like that as well, and I've been doing it remotely with my music director and some singers, which has been fun just to figure that part of it out. So to have my own music sort of done that way has been like, oh well, I'm keeping this going and the creativity going. So, and I'm keeping other people are singing music for me, but you know, they're doing it and figuring it out that way. It's really like, you know, taking advantage of the Zoom, the StreamYard, the whole thing. It's crazy.
I will never want to look at something like this again when it's all over. And I dare anyone to say they don't feel exactly the same way.
Yeah, let's all make a promise. We just chuck our phones into the Hudson River and, you know,
call it
be done with it.
Well, you know, I think I've had a lot of conversations with people. You know, I think when everything comes back, you're going to see people just connect eye to eye. No one's going to be on their phone around you. Like, I think people are really going to look for that connection.
I hope you're right. I saw somebody's Instagram stories. Yeah. They were at a restaurant and they were literally all on their phones.
Yeah,
still
I feel like
with their masks on.
It's going to be great. We're going to have that for about an hour, and then everybody will go back to their phones.
Yes, absolutely.
How you doing? Good.
Okay.
Instagram.
Did you have a lot of work canceled? I mean, right away, was there stuff that you were like, wow, that's gone?
We had a ton of concerts scheduled for this year and a lot of concerts scheduled for next year, starting in February. We're holding out hope that some of those will get to come back. And they were everywhere. We were coming to cities near, you know, everybody. This was not just in New York. You know, we started to get a lot of traction outside of the tri-state area and London even. So we're really, really hoping that that eventually comes back. So there was a lot of that. Andy was about to do an episode or two of a show, and that got canceled literally as he was on his way to his fitting. So there's a lot of stuff that just went away. You know, what are you going to do? You know, you just hope that at some point those people that liked you before will like you after and bring you back, you know?
You know, when I spoke to everybody early on, they were like, we work in a business where we never know. You work a job and then it ends. And a lot of times you don't know where your next job is going to be. So you create things for yourself. So some stars were telling me, they were like, I could sort of deal with this because I always knew that I was always looking for something else after something ended. So when they were able to wrap their head around what was actually happening, they were like, okay, I'll sit at home and I'll write a new song, or I'll, like you said, you optioned a book. I mean, you know, out of the blue. So it's like people said, as actors, you're always looking for something so you could create your own work for a while.
That's good for a little while. This is just at this point, it's like, okay, now we need to go back to like getting this scene or getting it heard or getting it done. You know, you know, creative people, you can't create art in a vacuum, and it's become that now. So we're very, very lucky that these things exist, because I know that the fans want it, but we also need to perform. You know what I'm saying? So that's an itch that needs to be scratched constantly for people like us, you know, all performers. If you're not performing, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's great that we're flexing other muscles. And I think it's great to figure out what else it is that you can do and do well. That's great. But at some point as performers, you have to get to actually bring it on, you know?
Yeah, I think we deal with a lot of people, including yourself, that are at the top of their game, so to speak, as far as work goes. Like, we've committed our lives to this work, which is sort of 24/7. And also, you know, you have to think about what's the next job and how you, like, who do you have to go meet in order to parlay the next thing into the next thing. It's, you kind of have to be on top of it. And then to have that all sort of stripped away, it starts to, like, you start to question, am I just a job? Am I just a performer? I'm just a singing monkey? Is that kind of what I do? It's like, you start to ask yourself those questions. Am I the job? Who am I, you know, without like playing a character? It's a really interesting question. It's like all those ebbs and flows of that. And what's great about this is sort of like it plateaus. It goes, okay, yes, I'm truly a creative person, and I'm very grateful that I've had the opportunity to sing and to act and do what I love to do. That the gratefulness has been constantly on my head. It's like, you really should be grateful for all this kind of stuff. And I'm grateful for doing this on Sunday. You know, but then there's also those days like, I got to start like building houses or something. My dad was an appliance refinisher. Maybe I could call him up and see what we can do. But it's all that.
Okay, Andy, it's okay.
No, it's all good. I think we're all sort of affected that way, especially us in the entertainment business. We're all like going, we need to work because it's kind of, this is what we do. This is who we are.
Yeah. Have you been doing a lot of self-tapes at home?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The answer is yeah.
No. Yeah. That's like my slowly I turned. Don't ask me about that because I'll lose my mind. It's
what? She's great. We've been doing some really good work.
I mean, the work is great. And then, yes, the work is fantastic. And you definitely have the opportunity to make it perfect. And when you go into the rooms, the lighting always sucks. Yeah. Somebody is reading like this, and you're going, oh, I'm supposed to now do my line based on the read you just gave. So there is a little bit, you know, it's almost better to be able to do it at home and send it in.
Yeah, that's going to be that way for a while.
I hope so. I'm okay with that.
You know, I've also become a little bit of a director. You know, we all have, right? We're all like filming ourselves, but I've been doing all these like videos for people that I've done demos for, and it's I was like, oh, I've got a great idea, and I'll steal some of that TikTok madness where they, you know, do on the bed, and I'll put that in the video, and all the lighting and stuff. You can't tell right now, I haven't lit properly.
Yeah, this is not.
We're not in our showbiz mode.
This is not in directorial mode.
We're in interview.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our personal feelings.
Do you read for each other when you each have a self-tape?
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. It's never going to get better than that. Ever.
Well, I think when you get to do your shows live again, I think in your act, if they have a screen or whatever else, you have to put up one of your like virtual self-tapes that you did or something together. I think that'd be a lot of fun to see in your show.
We're going to leak those tapes ourselves. Especially if we don't get the jobs. We're going to be like, this was my audition.
Yes.
I don't know how I didn't get this job. Isn't it good?
I had, but on the flip side of that, we do have dogs. So
yeah,
I had a test via Zoom And so I'm like sitting there with the director and the casting director. I'm just like, I did my read the first time. Okay, try this. And then the dog started barking. I was like, 1 minute. So that happened like 3 times. And I'm sure I lost the job. Like that was good. 60% of that was due to my dogs,
But me reading behind the camera was brilliant. Like based on that, based on me feeding him lines. I mean, you really should have booked that job.
Yeah. Well, they're quiet now.
They're quiet because it's,
because nothing.
They're like, we'll take the reader. We want the reader. We'll hire the reader.
Exactly.
That's what I was going for. I'm like, well, if you don't get the job, they're going to be like, who was that giving you all the acting behind the camera?
No, but Andy, you're not alone with this. I've spoken to so many people who were sending these self-tapes in for these really dramatic, really fabulous scenes. And all of a sudden, their dog knocks something over or their cat knocks something over. And you're like, I can't do this again. It's like, I'm sending this in the way it is.
Yeah. Oh, we have some construction in our building.
Oh,
so we have to wait until like, 9 at night to do anything. That's when you don't want to do it. You've eaten and you're kind of just lazy and you're ready to watch, Netflix or HBO Max.
Well, that's the whole other thing. It's like the apartment next door is being done to me. And I'm like, I can't sit here at 12 noon and hear drills going 24/7. You'll ask a question like, Richie, I can't hear you. I'm like, you're so attuned to sounds now in your where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're trying to do this stuff.
And every apartment around us from July till about yesterday was being renovated.
Yeah.
So literally starting at 7:21 every morning, it was like it was in the apartment.
Yeah.
Not just like, oh, we can faintly hear some drills and power, tools happening. It was in the apartment. And my voiceover agents were like, can you please send these? I'm like, no, I can't actually. I have to wait till it's dark and they have to leave. So if you need it right away, I lost this job because I can't, because you're going to hear Orfeh, like,
Febreze.
Fabulous. We had the same thing. There was something being done two floors up. I'm like, why does it sound like it's in my living room?
Oh, yeah. We had the roof. Yeah. They're doing the roof here. It's in the living room. The way the sound travels, they
don't build them like they used to.
No, they don't. I want to just talk about a few quick highlights because I was just watching. I get caught in a YouTube, like while Preston's getting ready for bed, I'll go on YouTube and say, oh, I'll watch Andy and Orfeh, or I'll watch, Liza Minnelli, or I'll watch somebody while you're getting ready for bed. Okay, so last October, you guys celebrated the 20th anniversary of Night Fever, didn't you, in Times Square?
Night Fever, yes, we did, last October. Oh, wow, yes.
Okay, so I have to tell you, I knew you two from there. Of course, everybody knows that's where your showman started. Of course, you got married because you met in that show. What was it like taking over Times Square, the theater district, with a whole entire company of Night Fever, and you guys, Andy, recreating that choreography? Talk about that night, because anybody can watch this on YouTube, and it's really fabulous.
Yeah, it would have been easier to do it now, huh?
Totally.
It was crowded. I was shocked how, it was one of those things where like, I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm not in charge.
Yeah.
We had a few people that,
Shannon Beach.
Shannon Beach.
This was her brainchild. People flew in from everywhere. It was literally 99% of the original Broadway cast showed up to do this. And it was phenomenal. It was incredibly orderly. It went off without a hitch. When we got together in the lobby of the Minskoff, actually, to rehearse, we spent hours together, and it was intense the way old friends who are, have been good friends and have been through something together, wonderful, not, it doesn't always have to be like been through something awful. It was as if no time had passed. It was as if we just picked off from like the last time we were at rehearsal the day before, and it went off without a hitch. And it was so unbelievable that there we are, like a flash mob in Times Square, and there was no drama. There was no incident. It just went off without a hitch. And the way that she pulled this off was insane. So I couldn't be more thrilled that we were all there for it. It was beautiful, and people should go watch it.
And it's one of those things we hadn't done choreography in 20 years or something like that. And
I still didn't get it right, but you can't tell.
I watched you. You were flawless. You were all flawless.
I was a mess.
it wasn't. It was, it's a very complicated. Arlene Phillips made some great choreography.
Oh, that
for
was
show.
some
And I feel like she should have won for Tony for that choreography. That was the hardest thing I've ever seen or done
ever to this day.
I was like, it was so beautiful and complex, and a send up, and I felt like she deserved a lot of credit for that. I really was like. I was impressed when I first saw it, and I first saw her in it, and then I came to the show later, and I was, got down to my birth weight because I was sweating so much.
No, because you watch this stuff. I watched the choreography. I'm like, this stuff is hard.
No, it was really, and you knew it when you were doing it, but we were all 12 when we were doing it. You could throw us off a building, and we'd be like, oh, little scuff on my jacket. But it was unbelievable, and the fact that we got no nominations.
I love the show. I used to go back to Night Fever like once a month. I thought it was fabulous because it was one of my favorite movies.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. So anybody watching, just go to YouTube, type in Saturday Night Fever 20th Anniversary Broadway, and it's like 16.
Flash mob, yeah.
Flash mob. It's really sensational. Yeah. Now, this January 10th is a big date for the two of you, isn't it?
Always.
Okay, but is it the big 20? Is it the 20th anniversary?
The big 20th anniversary.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can. Actually, I was saying to everybody, I was like, what do you...
First year of marriage?
This was our first year.
Let's still look.
That's gorgeous.
Not so bad, right?
All
the
right.
hair is not good today, but we do what we can.
Listen, I did what I could with mine today. So like I said, I love your hair. So seriously, so you get to celebrate your 20th anniversary. And I'll tell you, January 10th is going to be here quicker than you think. Because like I said, it's almost November, and then it's going to be December, and then it's going to be January 10th.
It's October 1st today.
Yeah. So, I mean, are you discussing like, oh my God, January 10th, our 20th anniversary? I mean, there's not a lot to do right now. So I'm saying, all right, but you should. Well, we're going to do it now with all your fans watching around the world.
No.
I'm going to congratulate you right now on your 20th anniversary, because I was there at the beginning. Like I said, what does it all mean to the two of you? Like, I love seeing, look, okay. Because I've been with you all.
Embarrassed.
No, you shouldn't be at all.
We got remarried last year, so on stage.
We renewed our vows. Lauren Lim Jackson, she officiated our vow renewal at Vitello's in Los Angeles in the middle of the show. Yeah. I had no idea, and they sprung it on me.
I'm glad I did it then, because we can't.
I was so mortified. There is a video of it somewhere that I'm praying never gets released, because I'm literally just in the most mortified state of my life. And
gotta surprise me.
And it's not easy to surprise me. I'm not one of those people who's easy to surprise. And I didn't know why Lauren Lim, like Andy's calling Lauren Lim out from the audience. And I'm thinking, oh, they're going to do a duet. Oh, this is so cool. I'm going to get to sit down and watch them do this amazing duet from Rocky, because they were both in Rocky together.
Yeah.
No, that was not what happened. And I was beside myself, literally.
What a great surprise. So you did it, Andy. That's great. But like I said, I'm congratulating you now, and I will congratulate you again on January 10th, 20 years. Because, I mean, I just love, because, I mean, you're a great yin and yang, the two of you, because, you both look out for each other, and, you do something for Andy, Andy does something for you. I mean, what is the secret to your relationship? Because everyone's been spending so much time together now, and they're trying to evaluate, like, wait, we can spend 6 months together.
I know that's the thing. Independently.
Did you hear that, Richie?
That's great. Construction. That's the first secret.
This is very mild.
Yeah, I love it.
Construction sounds and still be together. Independently great, but together even better. That's the thing. Like you said, it's the yin and the yang. I always chalked it up to the fact that, we come at life differently, yet respectfully, and to each other. And yesterday I was just like having one of those days. I'm like, I'm not working, sad actor. And she's like, snap out of it. You gotta, this is good. We're very grateful to be together, and grateful to be, with our dogs and with our, with
just alive and healthy, really, in a time where that's not, everyone has not been fortunate enough about, that. I think, look, and I always tell this to people, it's not, I'm not trying to make anyone else who may not have had a successful marriage or whatever. The fact of the matter is, the very beginning of our marriage, and quite often during our marriage, we did not spend much time together. And we did not have the good fortune of being together. We got married. He immediately went on the road with Saturday Night Fever for a year. So I didn't see him. I saw him 2 weeks out of that year. He's done a bunch of shows that I have not been in with him. I tried. So those are, you know, nights upon nights. And, you know, I might've been in LA. I might've been doing something else. So we were, again, completely not even two ships passing in the night. We were two ships in different ports. Then, you know, occasionally we got to work together, be on the same schedule. Then he went to London for almost 7 months. Again, saw him 2 weeks out of that entire 7 months. And that's longer than this has taken place thus far. So, you know, I think that we haven't been like this for the entirety of the 2 decades. We've spent an incredibly large amount of time apart. Absence in this particular situation, absence has made the heart grow fonder. There was no way to get sick of each other. We did not spend a lot of time together, except for when and we've only done in 20 years, we've done, not counting like the out of town stuff and, you know, Philly and the Prince Music Theater, a couple of very quick runs there. We've only been in 3 shows together. Like I said, I tried. They were not having me in a couple of his shows. I begged for one of the parts.
Oh, Lord.
It's true. You know, but
they should have had you.
They should have had me. But that's not, no, because that's to say that the person that did get it, they were wonderful. But there was one show that I wouldn't have been playing his opposite. I would have just been in the show. I couldn't even get that gig. Where's that from?
But I just love the two of you because I think you have a 50-50. I mean, you respect each other the same. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like putting together some of these concerts and stuff. It's so easy to extract, like, well, what do you want to sing? And being a fan of hers, I'm like, I know what she's good at. I'm like, you should do this, this, and this. I'll do this and this, and we'll have this. You kind of see how our dynamic works on stage. It's like she brings on the wham bam, and you're just like kill it, and then I'll bring down a slow little tune from Groundhog Day.
Where's my checkbook?
And then we'll meet on a couple of different songs. It's kind of you know, our concerts are in some ways a reflection of our relationship, how we like approach things, and also together we just have a really good time. Because I know she'll go off the rails and say something, and I'll just laugh, and I'll be like, yeah, but tell me about that other thing. Tell me about how much you love when people mispronounce your name, right?
You know just how to get me riled up.
It's funny how to like, you know, I know what she doesn't like, what she does like. It's you know, I think in any entertainment relationship, whether you're married or not, or you have to perform together, you kind of have to create that bond and know each other.
No, and I will tell you something, because somebody said something very strange the other day. And I won't get into it, but he had an audition for something that I didn't. And the person was worried that I would get upset that I did. I'm like, I don't care which one of us is working and making the dough and booking the job. So I think as competitive, and I'm an Aries, I'm very competitive. I'm very bullheaded. I'm very bossy.
Me too, Aries.
There you go. So you know the plight. Takes one to know one, you know. But there will never be a time, and I've said this and I mean it, and I think I've said this to you on every red carpet that I've been supporting him at a Tony Award, because you have what, 17 Tony nominations at this point?
No.
360? 943?
More than one, less than 10, like our dog.
Like our dogs, more than one. But I literally could not be happier for any human being succeeding in my life. I don't go, well, then where's, and listen, that is a plight of a lot of showbiz couples. One of them's always kind of like jealous that the other one is, you know, and I'm missing the jealousy gene in general. Don't ask me how, I don't know, but I'm like, I can't have what you can have, and you can't have what I can have. And if I lose a job to somebody, then that's what happens. But certainly if he's getting successful, or, you know, more and more, you know, famous or whatever, if I'm not the happiest person in the world, then I should just go be somewhere else. Do you know what I'm saying? That just doesn't, that defies logic for me when couples are competitive. there's competition and there's all sorts of that. And I'm not saying I'm very competitive, but not with him.
Yeah. That's what I love about your relationship. There's so much love there. I just wanted to put that out there in the world because you're a couple that everybody looks at. We're just about out of time, but I have 2 quick questions for you. I've been asking everybody who I sat with. This November is a very important election, and just talk about why people need to register and vote.
Oh, she's pulling out the.
Because your life depends on it.
Yeah.
My friend designed this. My best friend's daughter designed this T-shirt.
That's beautiful.
Nat Getty, yes. Strike Oil. That's what that company is called. Because look, I said this before. We get asked this question a lot. If you have fought to have the right to do something, why wouldn't you exercise that right? Yeah. That's it. Why wouldn't you exercise that right that you fought to have the right to do?
Yeah.
In any universe.
It's hard to put it in perspective because there's so much to really think about right now. So I think it's just a matter of like, let's put the power back in our hands. And we're all being inundated with all this news all the time. We're all seeing it happen in front of us. And I think being so super involved, especially in our worlds where we're on the computer all the time, we're in real time seeing everything as it is. And I think voting will put a little bit of that control back into our hands. So please vote. Go out there and
use your rights.
There's still like 23 days to register to vote. Please get out there and register and do it. And
because you can
be a part of it. Be part of the conversation. That's what it is. It's like we're all in this conversation together. It's not. It's not life and death, but it is life and death. So
it is life and death. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. My final question is, what are you looking forward to the most with Sunday night's concert?
Fun.
Have
some fun.
And people getting to like have some fun with us, even though we can't see or tell how they're feeling.
Yeah, get some riffs in there. Let's just hope, the guitar.
Let's just hope the electronics
Seth's gonna be hilarious. I think it's.
Could you imagine?
It's like, and if you want to escape from all this craziness, just come and watch the concert and like have a really good time. We tend to try to have a really good time.
Even when there's
even if I go flat on something because I haven't sang in 6 months. Or
if I lose my voice belting, I can point the whole concert.
The intention is there. Good riffs out before it goes.
And then I'll point the rest.
I cannot wait. Listen, once again, your concert is this Sunday night, October 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live with a rebroadcast Monday, October 5th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This F concert series is produced by Mark Cortali and is sponsored by BroadwayWorld and StreamYard. Tickets are available at Broadway World Events and at SFConcertSeries.com, and the tickets are only $25.
I love a lot less expensive than the Cameo.
See, okay, but do those too.
Well, we're doing them, but I'm saying if you want to,
I got it. Listen, $25 to spend an evening with these two in their living room. I'm going to be there Sunday night.
Take a little piece of my.
It'll come out. It'll come out. Listen, I adore you too. We
adore you. Thank you for having us.
Listen, have a great time, everybody. Till I see you again. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear a mask, and we'll see you soon.
See you Sunday.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.